Hi Nelly, how you doing? I thought I'd give you a video critique for the final critique for your final project. I think we might be able to get more done and more accomplished in the few minutes than I could otherwise do typing or otherwise. Gaming Universe looks good. There are a couple of things that I want to talk about. In general, I think the cover is very nicely done. There's a couple of things I think could make the cover better. The composition itself looks good. It's very contemporary in terms of what we're seeing out there with magazine design. You've done some really smart things. I'm gonna just Command R this real quick so bring out my my rulers, and I just want to see that we've got this really nice alignment going on right here, where you start basically, well, you're almost there, but you start the alignment roughly where the focal point's eyes are. That's a really neat technique. Good job finding that. That's a good one. There's some other things in terms of typography and alignment that I think that are need improvement. For example, if we take this image away, we have a series of little typographic compositions. If we look at those compositions, we can see some issues in each one. Let's take a look at the first one with the word new. And I'm just going to draw that guide right there. And we'll take a look at this other alignment. And we can see that's off. That 2016 is off. Game is okay, but that alignment right there is really throwing that left margin off. That in conjunction with the fact that there's nothing aligning with the Gaming Universe masthead. So perhaps we could make that word bigger or that masthead bigger to allow some sort of even close proximity alignment to the word new. Okay, same thing over here. I'm just going to grab another guide and I'm just going to draw it to its logical end, which would be somewhere roughly at the end of the masthead. And we can see that we've got this issue here where this is really overhanging. This nicely aligns. This doesn't. This is off. Now, this is a little typographic composition where this is a really good example of poor placement because it's game. Okay, now imagine if I was speaking this, okay, game of the year 2015. It's not grouped well. It's not saying game of the year 2015. Do you see what I'm saying? Other than that, I think these look good. Watch your alignment. That's the only thing. I mean, in this, what I would do here is I would go very traditional, left aligned on this side of the focal point, right aligned on that side of the focal point. Okay, let's move into the contents page. Contents page has fallen apart severely. It's not good at all. It's really the antithesis of what we've been studying for the last several weeks. I'm not sure what the idea is. I'm really surprised that you're adhering to absolutely no typographic convention whatsoever. Nothing that we've learned here. Nothing we've learned is being shown here. And a lot of what is being shown here are things that have specifically we have elected to stay away from in our contents page and in our typographic composition. So I really would have liked to see this page addressed, or at least let me seen it prior to shooting it in for your final. Because this, I mean, I'll just be honest with you, this page is not going to grade well at all. Okay, on to the now, and then it just gets weird from here because as the assignment asks for one feature spread, cover story feature spread, meaning that what is the feature spread here? I'm going to guess it would have been 2016 E3 event. Okay, so our feature spread isn't 2016 E3 event. I don't know what this is. To complicate things tenfold, you've introduced all these other compositions, these typographic spreads. So I just don't know what's going on. I mean, the assignment asks for this: a cover with cover typography indicating hierarchy such that it's easy to find and follow your cover story. cover story, the hierarchy of the typography should follow form through the cover to the contents page, and again through to the feature spread. Okay, so that's what we've been talking about for 8 weeks. So I'm just not sure. I know you showed this last week, and I know I said I just don't know what I'm looking at. I would not suggest this route. Instead of adding all of these pages, just do the 2-page spread like the assignment asks, and take all of this energy here and put it into your 2-page spread. Okay, in a nutshell, cover looks good, typography looks good. Contents page really, really needs to be developed. These spreads are just not following the project specifications. Okay, as far as typography goes, I mean, you're okay. You're showing some good left-aligned type. You're showing some good rags. You're showing some good typesetting in terms of typographic body copy. You only have a few orphans and widows and things like this stray quotation mark down here in the middle of nowhere. But the other thing is that all of this stuff like this, I'm going to guess this isn't your work. If I'm wrong, send it to me and I'll gladly retract that last statement. But this looks like somebody else's work that you've placed here. Okay, that's not going to work at all. That's like taking your portfolio, putting someone else's work in your portfolio and saying, hey, look what I did. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why this has all got to be composed by you. It looks like the rest is. I'm just not sure about that piece right there. Okay, I'm not even going to go through the rest of these because there's just too much here. It's really, really, really super important that you understand that when you're given a project spec, you have got to adhere to it verbatim. When you graduate and you're working in a studio or you're working for a client, attention to detail has got to be impeccable. In other words, you can't do your ad lib thing in terms of straying from the project specifications, like giving all of these different spreads. Okay. It's best to just really stick with the project specifications. Don't try to offer any more work or any extra work, or it's just going to muddy the water. Spend your time and energy in the given format and the given specifications of the assignment at hand. Okay, and I think your typography is really not bad at all, but the piece is not portfolio worthy because you just haven't followed specs. So I guess that in a long 8 minutes later, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that you're just not following specifications here. All right, if you have any questions or if you'd like any guidance on how to take this and move it further into a direction that might be utilized in your final student portfolio, please let me know. I'll be glad to assist you there. All right, so again, any questions, comments, concern, or other, just get with me, please. I'm a nice guy, and I'm really, really serious about that open door policy. So, all right, I thank you very much, and I'll see you. Okay, thanks.